This world is very temporary.
I'm not religious. I'm a follower of Jesus.
Thank you for the invite.
That's a good question. I wish I read that one earlier.
If there was no mic going, I still would have loved this. Absolutely.
Welcome back to the Yet I Elohim podcast. Today, we don't got no set theme. Honestly, we're just going to be talking, going back and forth, chopping it up. That's it. But today is episode 40. Thank you so much for tuning in. Without further ado, I'm going over to you, Omar. How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
How was your day?
It was good. Weather was crazy. Work was crazy. It was a little hotter than usual. We're reaching the 90s now, so that's a little bit too much for me. I like my 70s and 80s. I'm usually cool with, but work's good. Work was good for you?
It was good. I mean, it was a bit long. I started at 3 a.m. and I got done at 3:30. It was good though. I had all these cute little old ladies that were just chopping it up on me, but it was funny. No, it was good. I liked it. It was cute. Yeah, man. I've been dying, and I'm just gonna throw this off the rip. They just opened up a Panda Express 2 minutes from my house. Like, I'm trying to cut weight.
It ain't working.
And I swear the devil is at work with me, bro.
Yeah. You got Burger King down the street.
I got Burger King. I got Panera Bread. I got Chick-fil-A. I got Chipotle. I got McDonald's. I got Wendy. I could keep going. All within 5 minutes. No joke. All within 5 minutes of my house.
Even Bojangles.
If I get Bojangles, KFC, Popeyes, bro, I could literally keep going. All these, I got the Chinese buffet next to my house. Like, no matter, bro, whatever food you want,
yeah, it's there.
It's at my house.
Yep, exactly.
It's so bad. It's so dangerous.
Okay, but how do you, instead of going there, what's your default? Like, instead of going to all those bad places you named that would, like, get you fat, what's, like, the spot that you're like, all right, this place won't get you fat?
Like a restaurant?
Yeah.
Talking about? Bro, if you don't know this, Panera Bread's got a crazy deal.
Yeah.
You can go to Panera Bread, and I forget what special it's called, but it's a soup and a salad for $6.99. And then I log into my dad's account, and he has the free Sips Club. So I get a free large papaya green tea. That's it.
That's it. And do you feel horrible after you eat all that, or you feel a lot better?
Because it's small.
Okay.
It's very small.
Because I know if I eat too much, I feel horrible.
A Panera Bread.
Yeah, Panera or Chipotle, because those are, like, my two healthy places to go to.
Yeah, I mean,
I would do Chick-fil-A as healthy, but I don't.
Their salads are good.
Yeah, their salads
I actually
are good.
really do like their salads. Their salads are not bad at all.
Are they healthy, though? That's the question.
I think it's healthy until it gets to the dressing. Dressings are just not healthy for you at all.
All the calories and stuff.
Yeah, and all the seed oils and whatnot. Like, everything in that. I mean, from what I know, is not the best. But I think Chick-fil-A is definitely better than some of these other chicken places or these other sandwich places. Like, I feel like it's a lot better in that sense. But
I mean, but Popeyes is good. And so is Bojangles.
I don't really care for Popeyes, bro.
I
mean, I had Popeyes a couple of times, but I feel like it wasn't, like, it didn't hit. I had Popeyes once. The first time I ever had Popeyes, I had it, and, bro, the crunch was immaculate. I couldn't even, like, I thought, wow, I'm in heaven right now.
Yeah.
This chicken crunch is crazy. And then the next day, I was like, I can't stop now. I go back the next day, my chicken was soggy.
Huh. It was just that first timer?
It's just a first timer.
Oh. You haven't gone back since?
Nope.
Huh.
I do like Raising Cane's. If they open up a Raising Cane's next to my house, bro, I'm cooked.
You're done for.
I'm
Complete.
giving up.
You can never.
Nope.
You can never cut.
Nope.
Yeah, we started off rip talking about food, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the last two podcasts that came out with Trey Gad. Those were fun for us. I'm glad we separated it. We kept going back and forth whether we should have separated it or done it all full, because it was an hour and what?
It was an hour and 15 minutes.
We didn't know if we wanted to go an hour and 15 full, because people's attention spans are really, what do you call it?
Skewed. Like,
yeah, they're just...
dopamine receptors are fried for sure.
So, thank you for the views that we got in the first part.
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that second part came out nice. We're recording this before that second part comes out. But yeah, we're just here chopping it up because we have topics. We're just deciding to talk to each other.
I think it's good to take a little break in between all these topics to kind of talk about the podcast itself and where we're at feeling with it. You know, I think that this is much more fun this time around. We had the Revamp podcast the very first time we started it, and that was fun. It was high energy. It was entertaining, and you know, the flow was there for sure.
Yeah.
And we were even getting really good views at some point. But we fell off. We got busy. It was primarily me. I really got busy with school, and I told Omi, I'm like, I really can't keep up with it right now. And at the beginning of this year, we decided to bring it back, but we didn't want to bring it back as it was. We wanted to bring it back as something new, and that's why we decided with Yada Elohim, which, if you don't know what that means, it means fear God in Hebrew. And we want to give everyone that same experience of knowing what it's like to experience a true healthy fear of God.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to spread the gospel. You know, what point is it to have a podcast and have a platform where we're both talking about the Lord if we're not actually putting in the effort to really dive deep into those topics? So that's why we decided to do something more faith-based. And, you know, it's definitely been a humbling experience. The views aren't as great as they used to be. And the engagement isn't as great as it used to be. But I feel like the content itself is genuinely more rich and more spirit-filled. We definitely have to get better. I feel like we can improve with our energy levels and be a little bit more hype and a little bit more fun, because sometimes I listen to our podcast and it sounds a little bit robotic, if I can't lie. But, you know, I think that's all part of a process.
Yeah.
And that's just us growing, trying to figure it out. So it's really exciting. We're showing up with a new setup. Trying to make it more professional. We had the setup on the bar set in my room, but that wasn't really the look that I was going for. And we wanted to switch it up, and Omi came up with this idea of just recording on both of our phones. So I'm recording on an iPhone 15 Pro Max. Omi's recording on a Samsung S23 Ultra. So tell me which phone you like better.
Basically.
And then Omi also got a new microphone that we're able to use. So hoping it sounds better, looks better, feels more engaging, and just has an overall better feel. Yeah. Let us know.
I think we would use that bar table setup for interviews. Mm-hmm. Like the same way we have this, where one camera will point to us and then have the other person on the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
And talk to them like that, and then our camera pointing at them.
Yeah.
I think we could still use that because I like that setup.
Yeah.
This is more personal, though. But I do like that setup back there. And then, sorry if I'm, like, talking weird. It's because I'm a little under the weather. So I'm trying, like, not to cough. So I'm like, don't do too much, don't do too little. But yeah, no, I think that setup was fine. I really do. I don't think it was that bad.
No, I didn't think it was bad either. I mean, I just think we could do better. Like, I'm always looking at things of, like, how can we do better? And that's why I was like, bro, like, we gotta switch it up. And then you brought up this idea, and I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just came up with this whole little setup right before you came. I didn't even know this was what I was gonna do.
Yeah. Well, props to my cousin. He's the one that has this type of setup, I think. I don't know. I've never been to his, like, setup, but I'm pretty sure he has 2 cameras facing each direction, and they're talking, and I think that works best.
Yeah. No, it looks good.
And
I like it so far.
About the views thing, we're not trying to catch views. We're just trying to reach the masses. So we're trying to reach as many people to know about God.
Yeah.
But with that, we don't know a lot about God. I think we're always learning about God. So we're on this to learn. That's why we did an interview with Trey Gad. So he give us some insight in his world and how he lives a Christian life in his world. And then what else? Like, just talking to me and you, like having that personal one-on-one, I think that opens up conversation. I think we get through the topics fast because we want to be professional, but then it turns out being robotic. This is more like free.
Yeah.
Because we don't have anything like scripted in our heads. I know when I
Just
come
going
up with
with it.
topics, I usually like I'm scripting in my head to what to say, and it does. I mean, it sounds nice on audio, but when you watch us on camera, it just looks robotic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, absolutely. And to go back with the whole few things, like, my philosophy is, and this might be controversial to some, but, like, if you think of a small church versus a bigger church that's growing, which one is more biblically accurate to the amount of people that God or that Jesus preached to? I mean, in the Bible, it says that Jesus preached to the 5,000. He fed the 5,000. And there's multiple instances like that.
Yeah.
So when I look at it like in that type of retrospect, when I see a small church that only has a population of 50 and they've only stayed at 50 for the past 5 years and they're not growing, like, is that a good thing?
No.
Are they really glorifying God? So when I look at our viewer count and I only see 40 people tuning in or only 20 people tuning in and it's not progressing, it's not that that's what I'm caring about, but also I want to be able to reach the masses. I don't care about the fame. I told Omi this. I said, I don't care if we make a single dollar out this. That's not what it's about for me.
Yeah,
It's not about the money. This is all about the glory of God, and, you know, it's God's decision if he wants us to reach those masses. If we're not preaching the right word, which I think we are because, you know, we're both involved in men's group at church. We're both reading our Bible. We're both having our own separate relationships with God. But, you know, we're on the same page about religion. And when we do make mistakes, we correct each other. And we're not oblivious to that and we're not ignorant to that. So I think God can use this, but it's ultimately up to him. It's ultimately up to him and what he decides to do with this and with our lives. But yeah, man, it's not about the view count at all. It's just we want to reach people, and if it's just one person, it's just one person.
Yeah, I mean, if
it's
the
20,000 people, it's 20,000 people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, you know. We're not focused on the numbers, but we just want to get our message across to as many people as possible.
Yeah. And we want engagement. So if you guys want to, like, comment and stuff.
Comment. Yeah, man.
Get. Engagement's good. This is what this is for, to talk to us. And I mean, building relationships online, there's a good part and a bad part to it because you never know. But I think with this, you kind of know what you're getting into, me and Isaac. So just building a relationship with us would be good. But yeah, going back to the views thing, yeah, we reach one person and it touches their heart. That's all that matters to us. It is nice to see numbers. We are like human, where we just want to see numbers go up. Same thing with money, views, anything in life. You just want to see the numbers go up. You want to be progressing. So yeah, we feel that sometimes. We struggle with that because we'll look, but we're not trying to make that our main focus, like Isaac was saying. Going back to the small church, big church thing, my pastor was saying it. It's like, yeah, small churches are personal, but also are they growing? You know what I'm saying? Are they reaching the masses? And then big churches, yeah, they could be too much, but then I think that's why they separate. Yeah. Like even GT, they have another church, and then they'll have another. You know what I'm saying? They'll part ways to sister churches. And I think that's the right way of going at it. Is parting ways, making a sister, so everyone can make it to church, you know, whether they live 40 or 50 minutes away, they got one near them. And I don't know what the statistics are, but my pastor was saying that the statistics are that if there's a new church that opens up in the block or whatever, it's most likely that people are going to show up to that church than one that's been open for 30 years.
It's true.
Because now it's a new group. They could find their clique. They could find, because it's all new people. They're all trying to figure it out. It's not like you're walking into a clique.
Yeah.
And you have to involve yourself. This is a little more.
People like knowing that it's new for everyone.
And it was first for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know what the statistics are. You could probably pull it up. But I thought that was very interesting. And I thought that was right. Like, I don't think it's bad that you got a main church and then it parts ways to make a sister church. It's all the same church, but you're just parting ways.
Yeah. And it's also going to different locations. Like, for us, Glad Tidings is separating and not separating, but they're they're building another location in Reading. A lot of people in Reading don't got cars. That's why BARTA bus exists.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people can't even get to Glad Tidings, even though it's only a 15-minute drive from Reading.
It's like a 40-minute walk.
If that, like, sometimes that's still hard for people. And it's understandable. If you don't have a car and if you don't have the proper, equipment to get there, it can be an obstacle.
Yeah.
And I think all that GT is doing is they're making it so that people in Reading don't have an excuse to not go to church. Obviously, there's many churches in Reading, but I think that Glad Tidings is going to be one of the only churches of its kind that's going to be in Reading. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be looking like yet. It hasn't opened up, but we are in the process of opening up a third location, which is beautiful. So
do they know
really
where they're going to
excited.
place it? Like what street?
Yeah,
What street?
they already have the building.
Do they?
They bought the building. I can't remember
Street
it's
name?
sharing a lot with a school. That's why they can have such a big parking lot. It's sharing. I think it's a middle school.
Okay. Might be.
I want to say it's on North Side.
Oh, it's on the other side.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think it's on the other
It
side.
wouldn't be.
Because that's closer to the church anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I'm
Dude.
glad they're doing that.
So if we weren't doing this pod right now, like if we weren't doing this podcast at all, what do you think we would be doing with our lives? Like as something together.
Oh, gym or pickleball. I mean, that or go fishing. I would find something. This has, I think, brought us closer together, but I think it was just that stepping stone. I think it was that stepping stone of me, like, getting out of Wendy's and becoming an adult. I needed something to step on, like, okay, you're an adult, do a podcast, do the gym, go to work. Like, I needed something else than just go to work, go home, and eat, sleep.
Yeah.
I needed go to work, podcast, gym, hang out with friends, hang out with girlfriend, go to bed.
Yeah.
I couldn't just have go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. Like, I'm glad that I had that stepping stone because I think it helped me not fall into any type of temptations, or it really did because I was staying busy. And I think that's what was most important, especially just being 18 years old straight off the bat. Like, I got a car, I could go anywhere, I could do whatever I want. But I know at the end of the day, I just want to be home, go to sleep, repeat, which isn't the way of doing it. You got to stay busy. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
But I think for our relationship, yeah, I think it grew us closer because it's the one thing we talk about a lot. But also, I think we would have found something else.
Yeah.
Especially with you trying harder when I was in that teenage years. I think we would have found something else, but this is good.
No, I'm really loving this, and honestly, like, even if it never blows up, I just keep doing it.
Yeah, and we got recordings. I like that we have recordings of, like, almost our timeline of, like, life. Like, we got recordings, 2 years now?
Yeah, almost 3 years
of life just recorded.
It's true.
Yeah, like, I could go back and see what was happening that day or how I was feeling that day.
Yeah, no,
it was actually nice.
It's very true. I remember I was watching some of our old podcasts. It was funny. Yeah, man. No, absolutely.
How about for you? What do you feel like this podcast did for you? Starting it up, or what do you think we would have been doing if we didn't have this?
If we weren't doing this podcast right now, that's a hard question. I feel like we would have been making YouTube videos. Yeah. Like other stuff, like gym content or even like funny skits. Like I feel like we would have done something
entertaining
with media.
Yeah.
Just because I think we're good at that. Even like since we were little, like I remember like we always used to like just do stupid stuff and talk about YouTube. Like we loved YouTube when we were kids, and like we always watched influencers. I think I feel like that's every kid's dream, but
now it is. But
I feel like when YouTube really started catching its traction, like we were on that. Like, we were always talking about it and always talking about how cool it would be. So I feel like we would have done something like that, making videos or something, or like even when I was recording every day, like those vlogs, those vlogs were fun to do with you. Like,
Yeah,
was-
we would
it
have
was
done
sick.
stuff like that. Yeah,
and it's like even when we went to Watkins Glen, like you were invested. Like you were getting clips. You're like, Eastside, stand there. Let me get a picture of you. Ooh, let me get this move on water. Ooh, let me get this. Ooh, let me get. Yo, that's a good angle. Stand over there. Like you
Yeah,
were
man.
invested.
I find media cool. Like I really do.
Yeah.
If I could invest myself into it, I would. Like
Yeah.
right now, he's like does a lot of the editing for the podcast itself. I'll come up with something quick for the shorts. Those don't take a lot. Really, they don't. But if I could invest my time into it, I would, because it's fun and it's cool to see it grow.
Yeah.
But you're handling that part, so
Yeah. No, I mean, I've always just kind of done editing. I'm not the best editor. I need to learn how to become a better editor, but I'm learning. It's a work in progress. Bro, I don't know why I want to ask you this question, but I want to ask you this question. What's your testimony? And when I say testimony, like, what was your turning point when you started taking God, like...
I'm trying not to cough. Oh, I'm gonna cough. You got that? Is that? All right, go ahead.
What was your turning point when you realized, like, oh, I gotta stop playing games. Like, I gotta get serious with God. What was that turning point for you? I feel like I know it, but I want to make sure I know it.
When I turned 18 and I got into a sticky relationship, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize the heaviness of what your relationship with God is.
Yeah.
Like this relationship was, like it had its good and its bads. It taught me a lot, but the faith aspect was different, and I've never had something challenge me on my faith. And that was one thing that challenged me on my faith. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna follow this way, or are you gonna follow this way? Yeah, and then it really tested me. Like, what do I want for myself? You know, and I mean, my testimony is probably long. I don't know. I come up with different iterations all the time, but I think that was my turning point.
Yeah.
Where I got tested on whether I was gonna stick with that faith or change my faith, like to something else, like other religion, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that was my turning point. I think, yeah, it just tested me. It told me who I wanted to be, who I was gonna be. Cause when you stick with something, it changes who you are. Like this relationship with God this relationship with Jesus that I have right now, has changed me so much in the past 3 years, 4 years, ever since that relationship, whatever. I've been in missions. I do men's group. I read the Bible daily. I cut out secular. I try not to watch movies that are bad. In a better relationship, I love my girlfriend, so better relationship. But yeah, like, it just made me think different on how I was gonna act, or how I was gonna be. I don't know. I think that was my turning point, though. What was your turning point?
I was actually talking about this the other day. Haley and I are reading a pre-marriage counseling book. Just because there's a lot of things that you don't think about when you do get married. Like, one of the questions is, like, if your, parents become terminally ill, are you gonna let them live in the same house as you? And, like, there's some people that are like, no.
Yeah.
No, and it was just questions like that. That's just one question, right? And I was really thinking about it the other day, like, what was my turning point when I really started taking God seriously? There's a couple of things that occurred, but they kind of all occurred within, like, the span of a half a year. When I met Haley, and I realized I just met my future wife, that's when I was like, I gotta lock in. I gotta get serious. I can't keep playing these games. I can't keep playing, stupid stuff. I can't keep testing my luck because I can't lose her.
Yeah.
That was one of them. And in the beginning, and even still now, but in the beginning of our relationship, like, it was strong. And we were just friends, like, at first. I mean, we've always been friends, but when we rekindled it, like, we stayed friends for a couple of months before we took it to the next level of a title of boyfriend and girlfriend. But when that 3-month period was happening, like, it was just, like, constant growth. Like, we were just helping each other grow. We were just hanging out, but it was to grow with one another. And then when we took our relationship to the next level, like, it just continued. And sure, we've had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
And she's had her own struggles, and I've had my own struggles. But I feel like that's when I really started taking God seriously. And then I also started going on missions trips. I've gone on missions trips before, like West Virginia and Michigan. But, like, the DR was different.
Yeah.
Like, that was different.
That impacted.
And although it was a kids ministry missions trip, a lot of crazy stuff happened, and you could see that God was moving. And that's when, again, like, my mind shifted, like, oh, I gotta get serious. I'm going on a mission trip. I can't be going on a mission trip and then going back home and going back into my sin.
Yeah.
I can't be doing that. Or when we went to Greece, like, that was another stepping point. And then when I proposed to my girlfriend, like, that was, like, all these different things in my life that have kind of leveled me up. I feel like that's when I get even more serious with God. I get even more intimate with God. I have a better relationship with Him because I'm realizing that I'm not no kid anymore. You know, I mean, obviously I still have my childish tendencies, but I'm developing, and I could see that there's growth occurring. Yeah, that was it for me. You know, I feel like testimonies grow.
Yeah,
I don't think it ever just
never
stops growing. Like, you're gonna have a testimony that starts, you know, maybe when you were 10 and it continued until you were 30. Like, and it probably will continue even after. But no, I feel like when I really started taking my relationship with God seriously, and I really got a strong, deep connection with Him, was when I started going on mission trips, and I got into the relationship with Haley.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. Actually, yeah, I was at that point too. When we went to DR, I wanted to be at a good spot. I just had to quit Wendy's, which was a bad spot. I wanted something new. You know, so I really tried for God, and that was really hard. And I had just gotten into a relationship then too, and it was all new, and I didn't like. And then I'm trying to grow my relationship with God at the same time, and I wanted to be mentally prepared to go on that trip. I knew I wasn't, but I knew I was close enough where I could handle it. I could give my testimony. I could be there. I could be present. I could tell other people about God. Not saying that you have to be prepared to go on a mission trip. You don't even have to. The Spirit can move over there as well. But yeah, I wanted to be mentally prepared, and I tried as much as I could, you know, and it was a little difficult, but we got there, and it turned out great, you know, other than me throwing up a whole bunch. It turned out real good. Yeah. And then for Greece as well. Like, I just wanted to be mentally right. I just wanted to be right with God. And every time it was like a level, like you said, I just kept leveling up. So once I got there, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this mission trip. Like, you have to, what was Maritza used to say, that we're praying up, or we're going to this battlefield, so we have to pray up. I remember that, and I was like, okay, that's what we have to do. We just gotta pray, because you're going into a battlefield, you need to pray it out. I forget what she used to say. I think it was prayer up or something like that. Like, pray up before we head out. Let's pray. Let's do this. We gotta have the strength to do this. And I just remember that, and I think that I go into everything with that now. Like, before I start anything, before I do anything, I just pray up. And it's like a level of it. And I'm like, all right, I got God by my side. I'm good.
If you're willing to share, what were some of the things that God did for you during Greece? Like, I know some of, like, I remember you really diving deep into the meaning of your name.
Yeah.
And when we were beside the river where the Apostle Paul baptized Lydia. And I know that there was another one. I can't remember, but can you dive into that? Yeah. Because they're actually really cool to listen to.
All right, so should we start with the name one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my nickname is Omi. My real name is Emmanuel. which means in the Bible is God is with us. And you know, I'm not called by Emmanuel at all. I think it's too long, and everyone has always called me Omi growing up. My dad picked it, so everybody stuck with Omi. And I never been called Emmanuel, you know. And we're going through this missions trip, and Pastor Maritza, the one that was there, she kept calling my name Emmanuel. And I was like, that's weird. Nobody ever calls me that. Nobody ever calls my name Emmanuel. And that whole trip, she would call me Emmanuel. And I was like, okay, so this is meaning something. And I was feeling distant from God while I was there the whole time. Completely distant. Like, I don't know why. I was ready before the trip, and then when I got there, I just felt so far away from God. Like, I was like, I can't get these people to interact with me, because we would go out and talk to these college students, try to interact and get them to, like, come to the church or whatever, on their own accord, of course. But, yeah, I just couldn't, and I wanted the strength of God to help me. I wanted him to be there and just guide me, and it didn't feel like he was. And I was just going through it, and then we had this moment where we went out, like Isaac was saying, and Paul had, it was Paul, right? Yeah, it was Paul.
Yep.
Paul had baptized Lydia, and the tour guide, he was a Christian guy, and he was saying that Lydia was dressed in purple. And we took a moment, after the tour guide did all his things, and he was telling us about the history, he gave us a moment to all sit out in front of the river, where Lydia was baptized, and we were just sitting out there. Everybody was on their separate accord. They were writing down notes, praying, do whatever they had to do. And I remember just going out, going as close to the water as I could, away from everybody. And I just closed my eyes. I prayed so freaking hard, and I was like, I wrote it down too. I was like, God, I feel close to you when I'm far away from you. It was a weird thing to say, but I was like, I feel close to you when I feel far away from you. Saying, like, when I'm doing bad, I feel the closest to you. But when I'm doing good, I feel the farthest away from you. I don't know. That's for me. That's my personal story. It's weird. That's how I feel about it. And I'm just praying. I'm like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you here? And I'm praying really hard. And my eyes are closed this entire time. And I wasn't trying to dream up anything. I wasn't trying to see anything. And all of a sudden, my eyes are closed, and I feel like a bright light, and it's like purple, and all I could feel is like something hit my hand. I don't know what it was. It was just something like wind or whatever. It's just a little pat on the hand, and all I saw was purple. And it just brought me back, and then my name popped up in my head so many times. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, Emmanuel. And I was like, what is he? And then I opened my eyes, I'm crying, I'm like, oh, God is with me. And the purple was from the purple robe of Lydia and how she was baptized there. And the hand, and my own accord, I felt like was Jesus or God just telling me, I'm still here. God is with you. And, yeah, I don't know. That was a breaking point for me. Like, I never cried like that. And the water and just the environment and where I was, everything was just so powerful. And I was like, this might just be feelings, but if he is real. And from that day on, I was like, I understand if I'm doing good, he feels far away. It's all a test. It's all just a test of faith, and he's always going to be there. And he's there when you're doing worse, because he wants to be there. But when you're doing good, he lets you roam a little, and he gives you a little guidance here and there. But yeah, that's what that taught me. And that's my little testimony for the trip. And then I think other than that, it was just a protection thing. A lot of the girls on the trip saying I was like very protective on that trip. I wasn't trying to be. I don't know, it just comes out. I have a lot of siblings, 5 sisters, and like the girls were roaming around and they were doing their own things. And
Not a care in the world.
Yeah. No hate. But yeah, they were doing their thing, you know, they were having fun, and on my back of my mind, I'm like, they could get mugged, they could get robbed, someone could just come and grab them, hit them, whatever. Me and he's like, that's all we're thinking. And I think that was like a big thing of like, I'm gonna protect my daughters. Like, that's all that showed me. It's like, I'm gonna protect my wife and I'm gonna protect my daughters. Like, if I'm this careful around just watching random girls that I barely know, And I've always known that, but like that showed me that like these are even strangers, and I'm like overprotected, but in a good way. But yeah, I think that's what taught me that too.
Yeah.
What about you? What was like some great takeaways you got from that trip?
I feel like I was like the complete like you said that you were like ready for this trip, and then when you got there you weren't ready.
Mm-mm.
For me it was literally quite the opposite. Like I was procrastinating getting ready for this trip.
Yeah.
Up until the day before we left, I was like, yo, like, do I even go? Like, I was literally, like, doubting myself. I'm like, do I even go to this trip? Because I felt like God couldn't use me. That was one of my biggest things, because I felt like I wasn't doing the right things. And, you know, I was trying my hardest. Don't get me wrong. But I felt like I wasn't really prepared, and I didn't take the time seriously to get prepared. And I just started praying, and I bawled, and I just told God, I said, Lord, make me ready when I don't feel like getting ready. And that's exactly what he did for me. The first day there in Greece, it was a bit rough. I was trying too hard to be ready, and I realized that's not my job. All I have to do is just say, okay, God, you tell me what to do, and I'll do it. I don't need to try to figure it out. I don't have to try to go and see, oh, what does God want me to do? I just had to say, Lord, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
And after that, like, the whole trip, dude, it felt like he was here.
Right there.
Like,
yeah.
I was having a conversation with him, and response after like, it was quick. Like, the connection was fire. Like, it was so weird. Like, it literally felt like I don't want to compare it, but bro, it felt like ChatGPT. Like, you write it in, get a response. It felt like that, like with God. Like, and it was so beautiful. Like, I felt so close with God, and it was such a stunning moment. And I just kept crying all throughout the trip, because like when I feel really close to God, I'm crying so much, just because I'm so filled with emotion, and I'm so overwhelmed with just the presence of the Lord, and it's just it gives me such a peace of mind. I can't help but cry, and I can't help but just thank God, like, wow, thank you, Lord, for giving me this peace. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be this close to you. And that's what I feel like the main theme of the trip was for me, was just really feeling close to God, and knowing that it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not impossible to build a relationship with God in the midst of my pain. Like, when I'm going through things, that's when I should be running full sprint after God. I shouldn't be sitting here wondering, can God use me? I should just say, Lord, I know that you're going to use me. I don't know how yet, but I'm here, and I'll do whatever you need me to do. Just tell me. And that opened my eyes to that type of reality with the Lord. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. I felt like the communication between me and him was very strong, and I felt like he was telling me things. Like the one night when we were going out, and I kept telling the group, like, I don't think we should be going this way.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be going over here. I'm not getting a good feeling. And, you know, they were low-key like, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then weird things started happening.
Yep.
Like, we were walking, and the way that Omi and I, like, Omi said that we were a bit protective on the trip.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the man of us. We're looking at all these people as brothers and sisters of Christ.
Yep.
And if I had a younger sister, I'd be protective. So all these people that we're on the trip with, like, Omi and I had figured out. Either I was in the front and Omi was in the back of the group, or vice versa. And this whole time, we were solid. We had the communication. Me and you, we were locked in. And I was at the front of the group. And I was with Haley, and I was talking with Haley. And, no, I lied. I was not talking with Haley. I was talking with someone else. And I looked back to see if you were in the back.
Yeah.
And you were right behind me. And I was like, oh, who's at the back? And the back was Maritza and Haley.
Yeah.
And behind them were these two tall guys. Like, and I don't mean like 5 feet away. I mean, like, they were
Real
like
close.
a foot
Yeah.
away from them, just following them.
Yeah.
Following. I couldn't even see their faces. Like, it looked like they had a shadow upon their face. I couldn't even see them. They were probably like 6'5", both of them.
Yeah.
And instantly, I fell back and I got right in between them. Like, in between the guys and the girls.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, they went to the other side of the street and they went down an alleyway. Like, that was weird. That was so crazy to me. And, like, it was like an epiphany. Like God was showing me what was happening in real time. And, like, I got that sense that, like, something is wrong. And that was, like, the first occurrence. And then something else happened. And then one of the girls ended up, like, passing out, essentially. And we had to carry her back home. Like, the end destination that we wanted to get to, we never got to. And I'm glad it happened because I feel like God was stopping us from, like, getting to that place. Because something bad would have happened. So, for me, what I feel like God did for me on that trip was just give me, like, Him. All He gave me was Him. And it was such a beautiful experience. I loved it. I loved it so much.
That was a great trip. I mean, it taught us a lot. I mean, it was a lot of ups and downs, but I'm glad we did it. I'm glad that we had the people we had.
Yeah.
So freaking fun. One of the guys we're in the men's group with, or both of the guys we're in the men's group with, and I'm glad we are because it was great friendships.
Yeah.
They're, like, really good. I wanted to ask before we end off or do whatever. How did you feel about the Trey Gad interview?
I felt really good. I mean, honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I wish we would have been a little bit more natural.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was just a question and then his response, and then we just asked him the question and then it was his response. And it wasn't really like a conversation. I kind of regret it like that. I feel like it would have been more natural. Like, we would have said a little bit more.
Do you think it's because it was over call, or you think it was just because
I think we were nervous.
Yeah.
I think nerves were getting to me, and, you know, I wanted to get the questions in because I was genuinely curious about his answers.
I was too. I was listening the whole time.
Like, it wasn't like I was asking them just to ask them. Like, I was asking them because I was genuinely curious, but also, like, after the podcast, I put myself in his shoes, and I'm thinking, would I have enjoyed that experience? Mm-hmm. Probably not, because I really didn't have a conversation with the person.
Yeah.
All I did was just answer questions. And I'm sure, like, he did enjoy it to an extent.
Yeah,
but I think he would have enjoyed it more if it was more of a conversation, like what we're having right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. He said he'll record a second one with us.
Yeah, I
so,
hope he gives us a second chance just so we can get him on a personal level.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we were just interviewing, like, straight up interview. Like, it wasn't like we were talking like buddies. I think now that we got the interview part out of the way,
I think we can have a more intimate one.
I think so, too. Yeah.
And I also think, like, a lot of people, before they record something like this, like, they hang out with the person.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't get that chance. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Do you think
hard.
It was the call thing?
I think it was a video call. I think, like, if we could have went and, you know, met with him in person and, you know, have dinner with him and hang out with him for, like, a couple of hours and then record, it would have been different. But it was, he hopped straight on the call, introduced ourselves for, like, 10 minutes, did a test run, and then we got into it.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't really, like, getting to know him.
Maybe we should have hopped on the call a little bit longer, but we're both busy, so
yeah,
I don't see us doing that either. But
no, for sure.
I think it was.
It was good. I think for our first podcast, it was. I think we did good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we didn't do good. I'm just always looking at ways that we can improve.
Yeah,
I think that's something that we can improve on. So, with that, what is a realistic next guest or next guest that you think we could get on the pod?
Well, you already told him about the other one we got going up, right?
So,
did you say it in the pod?
I don't think I did.
In the part 2?
Oh, I cut that out.
Okay, so yeah, we do have another guest in July,
Mm-hmm.
so wait out for that one. Next one after that, I like to go for like a small guy, like not small guy, but like someone that we can actually possibly reach. Not someone with like super that's out there and is on the ride. Like I was thinking about, who was it? Afterthought. I think that would be cool. And we're naming these guys out, but it's not like we're planning to get them. It'd be cool to get.
It'd be really sick.
Yeah. I would like to go for like some type of speaker. If we could get a speaker on the call, like someone that knows the Bible well. I don't know who, but I know there's a couple out there. I know my girlfriend knows a lot. But yeah, like someone, either a speaker, a pastor of some sorts. I think we have something lined up for that too.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. Pastor, or another rapper, singer. I was looking at Kai Uriah. You know that guy?
No.
I can show you his songs.
Okay.
I think he would be cool to have on. He's a little smaller guy too. Gio. I think Gio would be cool to have on. There's a lot of guys that I'd find cool to just talk to. I just want to talk to them, like, on a personal level. I mean, the interviews are cool. I get to ask them questions and stuff, but asking them, like, just normal questions, like two
Just
guys
getting to
hanging
know
out,
them, it's just so
that
cool.
would be cool.
I'm definitely thinking about Gavin the Hot Rod.
Oh, yeah.
I've been loving his music. Music has been so good. I definitely want Afterthought. Afterthought's been one of those artists that I came across and I'm like, wow, I didn't know we could make Christian music like this.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool experience when I came across him for the first time. Gavin Hot Rod, him, another one, dude. I feel like we could get Marty from Social Club Misfits. And my dream, bro, out of all the artists out there, and I know that he doesn't even make music anymore really like that, it's just Andy Mineo.
He's putting stuff out, Andy.
Well, but it's
on
not
YouTube.
like on YouTube.
I think I found a video that he's putting
The
out.
music?
Yeah, like small things.
Huh.
Like little teasers.
He's not like consistently dropping anymore though, but he was he still is my top 3. Like, I love Andy. Andy, if God allows, that will be my favorite podcast. No doubt.
That's crazy to
No
say.
doubt.
I don't know. I think I'll be grateful to have any chance to talk to anybody. I just want to know. I want to learn.
Homie, why are you making me sound bad?
No, I'm not. I think it's cool that you have that dream, because that's a good dream. I want Forrest Frank. I don't know if we'll ever
That's
get that
a
guy.
crazy dream.
I love Forrest Frank. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very pleased with Trey Gad. Trey Gad
me
did a
too.
wonderful. Like, I'm glad he even gave us time. He was so cool. I really want to get to know him. Hopefully he's watching this. It would be cool to create relationships like that.
Yeah.
I think for us too, it would help us a lot.
I feel like building connections with people is like one of the coolest thing ever. Like, we have people down in Cali, people down in Florida that like we know and we can visit at
Pittsburgh.
any moment, and it's like, I think that that's the coolest thing ever. Is just having connections. Like, now we have connections in Istanbul and Greece and
Oh yeah,
Dominican Republic. Like, I think that is so cool. So like, to get connections with these other people, and just to have those types of friendships going, it's just so neat.
it would be cool.
So neat. I got one last one now. I'll shut up. What do you think was the reason that God put us in our lives for? Like, the reason.
I'd say to get over the hard times in an understanding way. Because we could have gone through the hard times with our siblings and our parents. They're just rough.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it? Like, they're not bad,
Mm-hmm.
but they're straight to the point. Like, so stupid. Why did you even do that?
Yeah.
Where for us, we're almost close to the same age. We've done the same things. It's a little more understanding for the time. Not saying that my dad's never done the things I've done, but he's older. So many years past that I still look at the same way from my younger brother. I'm like, why would you do that such a stupid thing? But I'm not his age.
Yeah.
I'm not there in the moment with him. I've done that in the past. But I think that we've had the same age, and then we're kind of the same. We're very different, but we're kind of the same where we know our morals.
Yep.
I think that helped us a lot. And then our faith. I think literally, if I didn't have you, I don't know how much I would be pursuing God right now, which is sad. That's sad to say, because I would love to do it by myself. but I don't think you can.
It's true, and I fully, like, wholeheartedly agree. Like, I think the reason why God put us in our, in each other's lives is that we kind of do this.
Yeah.
And it's a healthy, like, momentum that we got. It's like, I see Omi's doing good, and I realize I gotta step up my game. I gotta get to the level of Omi, or I gotta surpass him.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, oh, Isak's doing good. I gotta get to the same level and then surpass him. And it's not a competition. It's a let's make each other grow. Let's help each other grow. Let's continue to grow with each other.
Yep.
And it's like what you said. Like, there was multiple times in my life where I was doing crap, and I was thinking, literally, would Omi do this? Like, that was my thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, for me, bro, you're an inspiration. Like, I love you and I look up to you.
Mm.
You're only a couple months older than me,
Yeah.
but, like, I love you, and, like, you're like an older brother than me. Like, you are my brother.
Yeah.
I don't care
real, yeah.
who else says we don't look alike, but you are my brother for sure.
We don't look alike at all.
But no, I agree. I think God put us in each other's lives for the reason of just helping each other grow with one another, but also to keep each other accountable, because, yeah. And it's like what you said. I think we went through the same things at, like, the same time.
Yeah, almost the
and
same
we
time,
struggled with a lot of the same crap. And
Yeah.
we were there for each other. And
Yeah.
we knew how to combat it. Like, we were both struggling with secular music. So then you figured out how you can get out of it, and then you helped me get out of it. And I think there was a lot of instances like that where we're like, bro, I figured it out. Oh, this is how you do this, because we were both dealing with certain issues at the same time. Like, even now we're both in the season of engagement. Like, you're thinking of pursuing a next level. I mean, I'm guessing you are, but we're both in that level of getting our relationships to the next level. And just with that, like, we're growing up together. And it's so cool to see that.
Yeah. No, yeah, for real. I see it that way too. Like, right now you're ahead. And now I gotta meet you. And then you'll be ahead again, then I gotta meet you, and then I gotta meet you again. So whether that be like marriage, kids, I gotta be somewhere.
Yeah.
Home, apartment, wherever. I have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he follows up. I mean, it's a good competition because it's healthy and it's faith-based. And I think that's what's most important. Like, we know we're just doing it so that the next person could be better. Yeah. I mean, even when I needed quiet time and alone time, I come to Isak. It's a lot more quieter. It's a little bit more reserved. I could just space out. When Isak needs people to yell at, scream at, throw around, he comes to my house. He throws the kids around. He throws my siblings around and plays with them and talks to my parents, and they get loud. And it's just how it is. If he needs that, he got that.
Yeah.
And then if I just need my quietness and I need my space, I come to Isak and we just chill. But yeah, I think that's what's helped us a lot. Just those, how we're different, yet we're the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely. I love it. I think that's the perfect ending point. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you like the new setup and the new arrangement. Hope it sounds better, looks better. Any suggestions, please drop them in the comments. If you feel like, dude, that backdrop is ugly, change it, say it. If you say that the microphone is trash, say it. If you say that you don't even want to see my face no more,
say it.
Too bad. I mean, I'm still gonna be showing my face, but go ahead, say it. I don't care.
You can say it.
Say it. Go ahead. But yeah, no. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 30.
No, 40.
Ooh, this is episode 40. That's crazy. Episode 40. Episode 40. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Have a great day. God bless. Adios.